Welcome to Real Estate in the Lowcountry. Back with me today are Glenda and Lonny Satterly, and they are with the Joan Kelly Group. And welcome back.
Thank you. We
Last
appreciate it.
Last time you guys were here, we were talking about things from the buyer's perspective. Today, we're going to talk about things from the seller's perspective.
Right.
Yes, and so it is, as we mentioned last time, interest rates are going up a little bit, but it's really still kind of a seller's market out there.
Oh, sure.
So if you have a client that's ready to sell, ready to list, ready to put their house on the market, what is the conversation that you have with them about really being prepared and knowing what they're getting themselves into?
Number one, again, is education and educating the seller to know what the market really is, because historically markets change. This one will. We don't know when. Wish we did know when, but we have to educate them to know what their community's doing, what their even street is doing as far as selling, what the comps are, and really kind of notching them down a little bit. Of course, they should take advantage of the market, but we need to educate them on that. The other thing is, even in this aggressive selling market that we're in, we still need to do the things we've always done and getting them prepared, taking professional pictures, making sure that their house is show ready or staged. Those are all important things that sometimes sellers think they don't need to do. We are true believers that you do, because you want to capture the current market.
Yeah, and that really was going to be my next question. Are you seeing that sellers might be a little bit more thinking they can be a little bit more lenient on the staging or the repairs or those kinds of things?
Sometimes we do see that, and we just have to say, you want to capture this high market, then this is what we need to do to make sure that that happens.
And are you also seeing maybe a little bit on the buyer side, okay, I am paying a little bit more for this home, that gives me a little bit less wiggle room for renovation, so maybe they're wanting things to be a little bit more in shape when they're making those offers?
Oh, sure. Yeah. They do, because they are on this side saying, well, I'm paying top of the market.
Right.
And that happens at inspection time. Sometimes people get a little nervous, but it's all in education and expectations.
Yeah. And so we also talked on the buyer side that people are seeing a lot of multiple offers on a listing. So if you do have a seller that is fortunate enough to get multiple offers, how do you help them navigate which one is the best one for them to choose?
In our initial consultation, we discuss how they want to market their home, all the things that Glenda said, plus there's two schools of thought. You can go option one, depends on how much foot traffic you'd like to have in your home. Okay. And this is going to boil down to different communities plus price point. So there's different communities. If you want not as much foot traffic in your home, then you may want to consider offers as they come in. You may want to consider the first offer. A lot of them, they always say your first offer may be the best, and you may want to counter that. Option two, you could say, give us your house 2 or 3 days. Let us just show your home. We like to schedule appointments because if realtors have their clients with them, they don't want to be interrupted. They'd like to have private showings. But we would market it for 2 or 3 days, and we disclose on the listing, we're gonna have a deadline.
Okay.
And then, so if we get multiple offers, it depends. If you want to look at appraisal waivers, a lot of times the inspection waiver to a seller is very important. They don't want to mess with having to have a handyman or plumber, electrician, or some specialty come in and take care of repairs. So we've, for the seller, they like that.
And are you seeing one of those ways more popular than the other? I would think that it's kind of nice to say, okay, we have these 3 days, so your house can look perfect for 3 days, but it doesn't have to look perfect for months on end when you have people come through it.
We usually say if you can go to Charleston for a couple of nights,
have fun,
have fun, go to Savannah a couple nights or something. It depends on the neighborhood. Okay. You may not get as much traffic on a $5 million home versus another home that's, let's face it, on Hilton Head under 600,000 is going to be very popular, in Hilton Head Plantation or Indigo Run, and a lot of the developments like that. You may get a lot more foot traffic that way. It's property specific.
Yeah. And so again, we have about 30 seconds left, but let's talk a little bit about a seller pricing their property, because I would imagine you have some coming in with some pretty unrealistic expectations at the moment.
Oh, we do, and that's the number one thing we tell people, is that you can push the market so far, but let's make a good choice. Let's get your house sold. That's your motivation. You want to go somewhere. So we make sure that that happens, because now we are starting to see some price decreases, and the ones that you look at that we're seeing those on are typically the ones that have been priced too high.
Right.
And again, you can only push the market so far, and you just have to explain that to a seller.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to see you guys, and
Thank
always
you.
excellent information. Thanks for being here again.
Thanks for
you.
having us.